Hey, hi, hello. What's up, taste buds? It's your girl, ilinsterr, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. Welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the Taste Bud Club. And if you're just tuning right back in, welcome back. I am so happy you're here. Alrighty, guys, so it's another week, and that means another video. And I hope you all have been doing really well and taking care of yourselves this week. Albuquerque, on the other hand, has been going through nothing but crazy windy weather to the point that I could fly away if I wanted to. Our sinuses are not having a fun time with whatever's blowing around in the air. Like, literally, I was sick by the end of February, the beginning of March, only because I wasn't taking the necessary steps to rest and recover myself. And then I got better for like a week or two, and then now I have this very minor cough and my sinuses are all over the place, and I am completely blaming it on the wind and the pollen and whatever stuff is flying around out there in the air, because your girl can't breathe for one, and she doesn't normally sound like this. At this point, I don't even know what I sound like normally anymore, so I guess it is what it is, right? All that aside, I am so excited to dive right into what we got from this past week, so let's get right into it. So to start off our week, one of my coworkers actually picked up some Bob's Burgers for us on Taco Tuesday for their taco burgers, and usually Bob's Burger is known for, I guess, their ranchero burger, but honestly, I haven't really tried anything else on their menu except their taco burgers and their green chili cheese fries. So on the taco burger front of things, at each Bob's Burger location, they run this deal every Tuesday where their taco burgers are at a discounted price. Taco burger is like a hard shell taco shell filled with hamburger meat, chili, and lettuce, and that's pretty much it. But somehow it just hits when you're hungry sometimes. Like, I don't usually get this often, but sometimes the cravings just hit, and that's all you want. So if you know, you know. If you haven't checked them out for their deal, check them out on a Tuesday. Get yourself some taco burgers, enjoy it, maybe take a nap after, because that's exactly what I want to do after I eat like two of these. So next up, we actually got to check out this really cute sandwich shop here in town called DG's Deli that I didn't even know existed until one of you guys actually told me about it, and I had to look it up on the map because I didn't believe that we had a spot like that here in town. And one thing that I really liked about this spot was that everything's customizable after you pick out the standard of what you want. Like, when you first walk in, you're like greeted with this very giant menu of all the possibilities and combinations you can imagine. So once you narrow it down to what kind of meat or cheese or whatever you want on there, then they'll ask you what other condiments you want to put on there. So there's like lettuce, tomato, mustard, mayo, pickles, onions, all that fun stuff. So pretty much you get to make your sandwich how you want it. And of course, they do have hot sandwich options, cold sandwich options, but like you can see here, I actually got the cold one. I really like their bread. Like, their bread was definitely breading. And so I think what makes a good sandwich is definitely their bread. I could care less about what's inside the sandwich. Like, yeah, to a certain extent, what's inside also matters, but if your bread sucks, then that's pretty much what's gonna like not make the sandwich a sandwich. So that's what I really liked about this spot, and definitely the fact that you can pick the sizing of how big you want your sandwich, and just depends on how hungry you are, and it's super affordable. If you know, my top one spot for sandwiches here in town is actually Relish. Let me put you on. They will definitely change your life with their sandwich and salad game. They have the best sandwiches here in town, like hands down. Okay, so later that day, I got invited out to Hollow Spirits for their friends and family event for the new launch of their new menu with their new chef. That's definitely a mouthful, but it was definitely a great turnout for them, which I'm super happy for them. And so we actually started the night off with a few drinks. And so the one drink that I actually got was called Oh You Fancy Huh? And pretty much what's in it was gin, strawberries, lime juice, elderflower syrup, and like a tonic water. So pretty much for me, I actually switched out the gin for the vodka only because gin doesn't really sit well with me, and I just had a feeling that it was going to be too strong. And so switching it out for the vodka was definitely a good idea. So if you're like me, definitely make that subtle substitution, I think you'd like it a lot better. Okay, so the food that we did try here, so we're gonna start off with the bacon wrapped dates, and pretty much that was the applewood smoked bacon, the dates with a bourbon and honey whipped goat cheese and balsamic. As you can see, they are these tiny little things. Like they're kind of cute when you first look at them, but then once you start dissecting them and actually trying one, that's another story. Personally, for me, I am not a huge fan of dates to begin with, so I was already kind of thrown off with the two combinations of something sweet and something salty, but it wasn't that bad. I only wish that there was a little bit more bacon to accommodate for the date ratio, because it was definitely overpowering with sweetness, and that's probably the one thing I didn't like about that. And then next up, we actually got this jumbo fried mozzarella. It's like the name says, it's a giant mozzarella stick, and pretty much it's a 1 pound breaded and fried mozzarella cheese with vodka marinara, fresh basil, parmesan, and lemon zest. And pretty much when the server first brought this out, I was actually taken aback because I didn't know how much 1 pound of cheese was until it was brought to our table. And so right at that moment, I was like, how are we going to eat this? So pretty much we had like a few bites and then we took the rest home because it was already a lot. As much as I love cheese, that was definitely way too much cheese for an average cheese lovers. But other than that, I think with that one, they should have provided a little more sauce with that because it felt more dry and fried. For the amount of cheese and mozzarella you got going on in this, you definitely need more sauce to accommodate that, because it will definitely be a little too overwhelming if you continue eating it. And definitely take our advice. This is a shareable dish. It is way more enough than for 2 people. So if you're with a group of friends, definitely get this. It's worth sharing. You're gonna need all the help you can get, honestly. Okay, so last but not least, we actually got to revisit the New Mexico Beef Jerky Company for a hefty breakfast burrito. And if you don't know, the New Mexico Beef Jerky Company actually does more than just beef jerky. Like, I remember the very first time that one of my close friends told me about this spot and actually took me there, and I was very confused because she was like, "Yeah, we're gonna go get breakfast burritos at the New Mexico Beef Jerky Company," and I kind of was like skeptical. I was like, why are we going to a beef jerky spot for breakfast burritos? Like, what's going on? But then she was like, no, trust me, like this is going to be a very good spot for a breakfast burrito. And so naturally, I trusted her. My life was actually changed after that first bite of the chicharron burrito. And then so this past weekend, I actually got to revisit them and try another breakfast burrito. I actually got the sausage one this time, and pretty much it comes with all the standard breakfast burrito things like the protein, the egg, the potato, the cheese, and your choice of chili. If you like breakfast burritos, definitely check this spot out. They did raise their pricing up from $7.50 for a burrito up to $10, but trust me, it is the best $10 you can spend, because once you eat this burrito in its entirety, you are going to want to take a nap. And pretty much that's exactly what I did. After I ate this burrito, I came straight home and I took the fattest nap, but it was the best nap ever. But with that being said, definitely run to check out this spot because they definitely do more than just beef jerky. They do breakfast burritos and other traditional New Mexican food as well. And I guess they also have a cute little coffee bar right when you walk into. So they definitely got a lot to offer. But yeah, that actually concludes it for this week's episode. It was a super light week in the eating and drinking department, only because it was like super windy outside, and the weather actually influences what I do with my life. And so I just wanted to stay home half the time, and especially with whatever's going on, like in the sinus and nasal cavity situation, I didn't want to make that any worse. But if you like what you saw today and want to keep seeing more, don't forget to drop me a follow on Instagram, hit the subscribe button to join the Taste Bud Club, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on all the fun. But that's it for now, and until next time, I'll see you guys next week. Bye!